Okay, Stephen, so coming up to the Accrington derby, the mood must be really upbeat after the Wycombe win.
It is, yeah. It has been for the last 4 to 6 weeks. I think due to the performances, the level of performance has increased. I think the boys that have come in have enhanced our play and give us a little bit more security at the back. Some of our play, it's exciting. It's crazy at times, but it's enjoyable. And this is a big game for us. I've been really impressed with Accrington. I know they haven't had results in recent weeks, but watching their last 3 or 4 games, they've been very unlucky. John always has them fired up, and a big, strong side. So it's certainly going to be a challenge for us.
And what you don't want is a repeat of the home fixture when it was a 3-3 draw and Shane McLaughlin got sent off. You need everyone on the pitch, don't you? No red cards.
Yeah, we don't need to make it harder than it needs to be. We've certainly done that at times, but no red cards. 11 men on the pitch would be nice. It's going to be, it's going to be full on. It'll be a decent crowd there as well. The atmosphere will be good, and we're expecting a real tough game. There's not a lot of difference between teams at this level. Every game's competitive. There's no runaway victories at times. It's decisions from referees or decisions from individuals that win and lose your games. So we need to carry on with the confidence I believe we played with, and take the game to them and put our stamp on our style of play on the game.
You've talked before about continuity and team spirit, and I think the Wycombe result was a culmination of that really, and you just need that to continue, don't you?
Yeah, I still don't think I've picked the same team twice in a row. Obviously Greg away on international duty as well makes that impossible for the next game as well, and possibly Ryan McLaughlin missing on Saturday as well. So the boys that come in I thought have done well. Gibbo, we know can play at this level. We know that Ryan Cooney can play at this level and done very well the other day. So it's up to the boys. I think some people's misfortune rewards other people with opportunities, then it's up to them. It's up to them to take them opportunities and stay in the team. But there's certainly been a lot of good camaraderie. The training, we've moved our training, we're based at the ground. There's a lot more togetherness. People actually finally getting to know each other because of the sort of parameters around training at the ground and how tight knit it is. So hopefully that bodes well going into the final bits of the season.
Was the Wycombe result particularly encouraging because unlike the Doncaster comeback, it was 90 minutes of quality?
Yeah, and I think if it's probably been a pattern of our season. We've played in patches. We've played at 45 minutes at a time and then lost our way a little bit, and sometimes that's confidence, sometimes it's fitness levels, and sometimes it's decisions that go against you. But I thought for 90 minutes we were the better team. I thought for a large period of the game against Wigan we were the better team. For Spurs we contained them, which is incredible to put in the same sentence as ourselves. So there's a lot of good stuff, but as you say, that was probably the most complete performance. I would like to not concede any goals, which would make it a lot more comfortable. But that's what we have to build on. We have to try and get that consistency of performance right from the start. Accrington are renowned, they'll come out fighting first 15 minutes of each half, and we have to match the physical side of their game or they'll blow us away.
Yeah, Accrington really are a role model, aren't they, for clubs like Morecambe about how you compete at the top end, the right end of League One, being a small club.
I think John set the example. I think they've recruited really well year on year. They've used the loan market really well. Probably the difference is they've got a settled squad where they recruit maybe 4 and 5 each year. We're able to give out 2 and 3 year contracts to get stability, which we have only just started to do, and everyone here is mainly on 1 year contracts. So they've had that time to build that. They've put a new pitch in, they've got the training ground they're trying to work on as well. So they've had that momentum of League One football, and they certainly are an example to smaller clubs of how to be sustainable at this level.
You touched upon Greg Lee not being available. How much of a blow is that? It's obviously great for him, isn't it? But a real blow, as you say, looking for that continuity at the back particularly.
Yeah, I think Greg's been probably one of our standout performers all season. I think particularly in the last month he's been excellent. When he keeps his game nice and simple, he's a brilliant athlete. For me, he can play at a higher level. So, and he is doing obviously with his country. But it is a blow that Greg's out, but it gives Gibbo a chance. Gibbo's come in and played on occasions and done very well. So we're confident he'll come in and do that again, and hopefully he does really well and gives me a headache.
We're coming towards the end of the January window. Any movements in or out to report?
Not out, no. I know you're probably referring to Cole, so no, there's been absolutely no contact from anybody, no contact to anybody on the board, no contact to anybody, to Martin Foyle or myself, so long may that continue. In terms of getting people in, it's very, very difficult, it's there's a lot of competition. Everybody's after the same players, and persuading people to come is proving a real difficult. And I don't want to bring players in that aren't better than what we have. We've got a good group of boys that are adjusting to this level, and it's important that we recognise that as well. So if we think we're getting better or different, we'll bring somebody else in. But we want to bring one more defender in, we want to bring one more attacker in, and then set us up for the rest of the season.
Do you think the stories about Cole Stockton will go on right the way through to the end of the window? You could be getting the call right at the last minute, because this is when clubs sort of panic, isn't it, and start chucking silly money around as the window gets nearer closing.
Yeah, I can never understand that. In any other business, you have a plan. In football, it seems to be 11:59 on transfer deadline day, the plan's submitted. So it is what it is. You have to deal with it. If somebody comes in, we have a value on Cole. We are a club that has to sell players. Make no mistake about that. And it's very difficult to justify turning down the right amount of money. But we're not under pressure to sell him, so it has to be right for first of all us, and secondly for Cole. And we'll be expecting that right up to the last minute. It makes it very difficult to replace. He's almost impossible to replace anyway. But to replace at the final minutes leaves it very difficult, because with all due respect to us, nobody's crying out, and we're not the first call on every agent's list. Probably the last call in League One. So we have to be aware of that, and it makes it a very difficult task to replace him if it happens.
A word about the supporters. Massive support for the Wycombe game. There's over 1,000, comfortably over 1,000 going to Accrington. Bolton's it's all ticket, looking like it could be a sellout. It's still incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people thought it would drop off as the season went, to be honest with you. But and I have to give credit to the players as well. We've kept trying to play a brand of football that's attractive, even on the pitch that the groundsman does ever so well to even get it in that current condition for what he obviously took over with 3 weeks before the season. It's difficult to play and pass, but we've kept our principles. We've tried to make it entertaining, and certainly people can't complain it's not entertaining. It's been way too entertaining for my liking. I would prefer a nice 1-0, and I think the fans have seen that. They see a group of boys adjusting to this level. They see a football club adjusting to this level, and everyone fighting and scrapping to try and stay at this level. So if you do that, you get people behind you, and they deserve credit. They stick with the boys for 90 minutes. You don't hear like some other clubs and getting booed with every mistake, and we'd love to give them rewards and stand up at the end of the season, and certainly starting with another win on Saturday.
MazummaMobile.com